Excusez-moi. Make sure that goes live, because, yeah, I've got about fucking 5 different platforms to update and about fucking 2 streams to start these days, because discoverability is so fucking rough at the moment. But anyway, but yeah, we're going to play a new game today. I'm looking forward to it. I've just rewatched the trailer and it's got me a little bit excited. It's kind of like an ASCII art, as you can see of this banner. It's like an ASCII art, like horror game. So I'm interested to see what tricks they pull and whether I need a keyboard or not. But we'll find out. But yes, welcome in, everybody. So I need to set up the audio as well. I wonder if I can get a button on my Stream Deck. Fuck's sake, I was having this discussion the other day. I wonder if I can get a button on my Stream Deck that will open my sound preferences. I'll make a clip there. Future breadcrumb. See if you can make a button that opens up the sound preferences menu in Windows. You probably can, somehow, because then you can do this quicker. Output. Okay. Now you guys should be able to hear the game. Without Adorn contains content that some players might find disturbing or triggering. Would you like to see the content warnings, including possible spoilers? No. Ooh. Ooh, oh. You can, I don't know, Gable Green. Grey Asparagus kind of looks like a fucking Game Boy game. I'm tempted, you know? But I suppose we should potentially play it as intended to start with. Texture. Oh, damn, okay. Right, okay. So you guys should be able to hear the game. Solipsis, good morning. Deimos, hello. Nimbus, hello. Good to see you guys. Nimbus, GG's on first. Solipsis, GG's on second. Third remains available. We'll see who grabs that. But welcome in, everybody. I love that emote, the fucking croissant cat running. I need to find who that is and see if I can acquire that one. But yeah, let's start a new game. And I think yeah. Are you awake? No, I'm not sure. I am, but they aren't. Feels kind of weird. Open your eye. Now, feeling anxious. You've been tossing and turning in your bed for a while now. Sleep doesn't seem to be coming. You have a feeling that someone is watching you. Someone may be standing behind the window. Is that us? There's no one there. How can you be so sure? You need to get up and check the window. It will take but a moment. We'll be back in bed in no time. Oh. Remember to breathe. Don't get too caught up listening to the sound of your breath. Let it come naturally. Trick yourself into thinking something else. You are safe. You can see movement through the cracks in the window blinds. Can you see the shadows shifting? There's something or someone out there. Open the window. Oh! Nothing. Tree branches swaying in the wind. You must feel relieved. It's very silent. Came here to find quiet, but you've come to miss the sounds of the city. The restless noises coming from the streets, even those that are violent. Yet somehow they brought you comfort compared to this maddening silence. I've experienced this firsthand, right? I went to go stay with a friend in Reading, and they lived like right in the middle of the country, like way out in the countryside, like a 45 hours drive away from like the nearest town. And I slept in their spare room, and I promise you, it was summer, so the window was open because it was quite warm, and I couldn't hear anything. Like there was complete silence, even though I was in a room in a house with a window open. It was complete silence. And I live in a pretty sleepy little village that's like kind of considered a town, so it's not that busy, but there's always a bit of noise. But no, this was complete silence, and I was like, I can't sleep because it's too quiet. Like there's nothing there. Like I feel like I'm in some like room floating through the middle of nowhere in space. It's weird. But yeah, it's weird how you get conditioned to the noise floor. Here you thought you could unwind and rediscover yourself. Find what the hell is wrong with you. It is true that in silence you can hear yourself more clearly. Head back to bed. Wait. Aren't you forgetting something? The blinds? What do you want? You need to close the window blinds, yeah. Leaving them open makes you anxious. Okay. You made it back to your bed. You're safe. Nothing bad happened. You can fight it. You have the strength to overcome it. You need to understand that what you're dealing with. You think it's all in your head. Oh, okay. Think it's all in your head. Yes. You can rely on logic. Your best connection to reality. You are tired. You need sleep. Close your eyes. The passage of time seems different here. The arms of the clock are going back and forth. You find it difficult to experience such irrationality. There's a sense to any of this, it's not visible. I'm the man in a gas mask. I ask you this. How many fingers am I holding behind my back? Two. It can't be 11, can it? So, the clock stopped on certain... it stopped on certain numbers, and I was like, shit, I should write that down. Yeah, so... 1... 6... 3... 5... 1, 6. I need to write this down, hang on. I need to write this down, give me a sec. I need to be in the game though, it's the same. 1. 6. 3, 5, 5, 1. Yeah. So it's 1, 6, 3, 5. 1, 6, 3, 5. Your answers ring true. This interaction represents the beginning of our connection. Acknowledge my existence. Your dream has come to an end. Okay. Dream 1. Did you find the dream unsettling? You believe there was more to it? No. You couldn't connect with the dream? No, it was just there to teach me about how the puzzle mechanics work. It made you feel something. He spoke with great concern. Do you think he tried to tell you something? Pay attention to numbers. There could be a pattern or meaning in his words. Put your head to work. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. Of course, 15. You keep seeing this number. 15. 15. 15. Would you knock it off? You seem anguished. Is it hard for you to fall asleep? You need to check the window again. That will help alleviate your stress. There's no one there. You don't know that. It's difficult for you to resist the urge. You should try harder. You know you should try harder. You can start tomorrow. You can slip this one time. Back in your bed in no time. Okay, so if there's something to check, you should check it, is what the game is trying to tell me. Can't see the trees anymore. Trying to understand why. Would it be a dense fog hindering the view? You're probably right. Wait. See movement in the distance. Did the fog hide the shape like it hid the trees? You must find this perplexing. You don't know what you're looking at. It appears as if a shadow is bleeding into the fog surrounding it. Coming this way. It is slowly growing its presence. The shape is becoming increasingly distinct. It resembles a human. But you cannot trust your eyes. You are not alone here. There's no one here besides you. Only you and your shadow. How long can you stand this dissonance? Close the window blinds. I lost my mind. You've been under a great deal of stress. You need to get your head straight. Your heart is racing. Your breathing is shallow. Your legs are growing numb. Cold sweat is about to break as your skin turns pale. Don't let it go that far. Try to calm your breathing. Think of something entirely different. Think of the last movie you saw. But remember the lyrics of your favorite song. Good. You're starting to stabilize. You're slowly gaining back your strength. You feel shaken and want to return to your bed. It's the only place where you feel safe. But first, you must take another look. Yep. Trees are back. You feel relieved seeing the trees again. You are sure it was only your imagination. It was nothing but a feverish dream. You should return to your bed. Made it back to your bed safely. You're tired and craving for sleep. The morning will come and everything will look brighter and more hopeful. You'll be fine once you get some rest. Time to close your eyes. sound of the wave has a unique quality to it. Yes, it does. Can you hear the unexplainable clarity? Can you hear the unexplainable clarity in its character? Can you hear the waves whispering distant words? You don't believe their unnatural sound belongs to this. You don't believe their unnatural sound belongs to this sea. The energy passing through the water comes from somewhere unknown. Yet you find the waves calm and peaceful amidst the sad melody. You embrace this beautiful harmony. You are breathing slowly and deeply. Your body and mind are weightless and free from worry. It's so rare to achieve such tranquility, it is. You find it difficult to experience both extremes. Your darkness has overshadowed the light for too long. It wasn't always like this. It doesn't always need to be like this. I'm the man in the gas mask, and I ask you this. Can you bear my silence? Makes me anxious. What's wrong with my silence? Your silence has the wrong pattern. Your silence is unbalanced. What makes my silence uneven? Silence has 14 dots. Silence misses a dot. How many dots should my silence hold? 15. I understand. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. I have corrected my silence. Who are you? I am the one who can show you the truth. I can help you look past the veil. I assume the shape of a shadow. I came to your cabin. I will not let you exist in a lie. My silence is now also yours. Follow this newly found connection. Go to the birdhouse. You will find something hidden under its detached roof. Okay. Another strange dream. The man in the gas mask appeared to you again. Does that seem uncanny to you? No, it's a manifestation of your mental state in a dream. You don't consider that strange. You don't find that suspicious? Surely you must be, at least intrigued. Oh, yeah. You think he spoke convincingly. But it's hard for you to accept that the dream could hold any truth. You consider yourself logical, but don't want to rule anything out. You can sense things you can't hear or see. This spiritual side of you may follow some secret logic. A logic that has yet to be discovered. You are tired of this recurring conflict in your head. Be that as it may, you can't stop thinking about what he said. You should go outside and check the birdhouse. Yes, definitely. There's likely nothing hidden inside, but you must verify it to get it out of your head. Yep. Then maybe you can finally sleep. It's going to rain soon. Normally I'd love some rain. Sound of it the sound has a calming effect on you. Yeah, the rain hitting a roof or rain hitting a window specifically. Oh, love that noise. But you don't want to get wet. You better get going before it starts raining. Should have want to go. Bitter autumn wind is chilling you to the bone. Yet you find it refreshing. There is something purifying and healing about the wind. Perhaps the physical sensation of your skin tricks your mind into focusing solely on it. Becca! Welcome in. Thank you so much for the
Becca
donation.
3,548 just donated £20 to Movember Euro.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Becca. How are you? It's good to see you. Welcome in. Good to see you. The wind makes you feel more connected with this world. But then again, what the hell are you doing here? What the hell am I doing here? The middle of the night. Standing outside catching a cold because you had a dream. Would a sane person act like this? You don't think it matters, do you? No one is sane. You don't care whether you are of sound mind or not. All you want is to feel better. You want to wake up feeling calm and content. You need to find a way to prevent yourself from falling into negative thoughts. Yes, this person sort of got away from it all because they need to fucking get something straightened out in their head, and they're struggling with it. And they're conscious of the dysfunction. But yeah, clearly still grappling with it. It's going to rain soon. I'm good. Hope you're well as well. Yeah, very well, yeah. It's a Saturday. I've got my croissant, got my coffee. My cat is happily sleeping in the sun that's beaming through the window because it's still very sunny for some reason. And I've got a bunch of lovely people to hang out with in chat. Got a new game to play, so yeah, I'm good. And people are donating to charity, which makes me feel very good because we're raising money for a good cause, men's mental health. I have to have a silly moustache for a month, but you know what? It's for a good cause. So yeah, I'm good. How are you? It is, yeah, it is. Like every time I see the stats about, you know, there's like 68 men a minute take their lives, and it's like, it's fucking crazy, dude. And it's, yeah, and that when you stack that up to how many men a year it is, it's like, for fuck's sake, man, like, it's crazy. Yeah, it's, you know, it's obviously the focus for a long time has been on trying to make society better for women and girls, because there are obvious shortcomings in society that make it very difficult for women and girls to exist sometimes, which is obviously a problem. There is this kind of like societal norm in most cultures that men aren't supposed to have emotions. They're just supposed to be workhorses that just do all the physical labor, and it benefited the Industrial Revolution and so on and so forth, but there is a cost to that, and that's the fact that men can't talk about their emotions because they aren't educated or allowed to talk about them when they're a kid. So they don't really learn how to talk about their emotions, and anybody who can't talk about their emotions is doomed to be completely consumed by them. And men try and bottle them up and try and ignore them, but, you know, it just manifests in other ways. That's what I learned was, like, I always thought that, like, negative emotions I felt as a kid, they were kind of like mold on a bit of cheese or mold on a bit of food, right? And it doesn't matter how deeply you bury that mold inside something, it's still going to find a way out, you know? And arguably it's going to be a lot worse when it does. So it's better to sort of take stock of your emotions, try and learn about them and try and understand them. And obviously emotional regulation amongst people that are dominated by testosterone is different than estrogen. So there's some psychology that's out there that's useful, but one of the key mistakes that society makes is they treat male depression like female depression. There's a lot more science and a lot more discussion around female depression, and therefore the things we think that work for female depression will work for male depression, and it doesn't work that way. There's a different validation system in the male brain that we just don't know enough about. And it's obvious that men that don't find validation in things go on to do terrible things to themselves and sadly to others. So it's, you know, something that we need to be a bit more switched on about. But yeah, it is a major cost. But yes, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate that. I'm fucking absolutely blown away that we're well on the way to £250 already, and that's in pounds as well. It's not even dollars. So yeah. Anyway, it's going to rain soon. You need to get to the birdhouse. Go to the birdhouse. Excuse me. Oh, I was outside the game. You are here by the birdhouse. You still want to do this? Yes. Are you're sure? You're not sure you have a choice. You feel like your hands are tied. And you see the spot where the ground looks different. Can you see the spot where the ground looks different? No, I can't. Ground is bare of leaves and branches. Someone has been here recently. As you realise this, you can feel your heart beating irregularly. You can feel that sense of dread creeping in. This fear creates a gap in your psyche you can't control. It's overpowering your thoughts and even memories, recolouring and forging them formless. But you must not give in. Try not to lose yourself in your thoughts, not when they are at their darkest. You can feel it coming again. I can feel it coming. Sorry, there's so many of these lines that are lyrics in songs. I can't help it. Breath is turning shallow. Allow your lungs to breathe without you intervening. You must think of something else. Can you remember the colour of your friend's eyes? Yes. Oh, why does that keep happening? Game keeps disappearing for some reason. You're so welcome, I appreciate it. A really good one, yeah. I can hear it, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Hold on. Get a sense of relief washing over you. You're safe. You already searched the birdhouse. What do you expect to find? A severed finger, probably. You want to believe there's something in the birdhouse. Wouldn't you find it terrifying? Would it turn your dream into something more? There's only one way to find out. Remove the roof. Oh, Lord. Oh. Discover box. You cannot believe it. You discovered a box hidden in the birdhouse. You must be terrified. You don't understand what this means. Could the man in the gas mask assume physical form? You're trying to wrangle this deeply unsettling question, but you struggle to find an explanation. You believe it was he who hid the box? Yes. You can't come up with any explanation. You may be more than a fragment of your imagination. You're trying to understand what it means, be that as it may. Someone placed the box here recently. You feel a sense of security fading away. You might not be alone here after all. This frightening thought is starting to grow in you. You must be wondering what's inside the box. What's inside the box? I'm like, why? It's just so many references. I don't know why my brain is suddenly able to make references. I've had a problem with my fucking memory because of long COVID, where I can't remember people's names. I can't remember the name of the film, the name of the song. But yeah, you should get back inside first. Get to the cabin, yeah. What's in the box? Standing at the front of the cabin. Why would you stop here? Front door is ajar. Can't remember if you closed the front door. You left so hurriedly that you didn't even remember to take your coat. It's true, you were distracted and not thinking straight. It would make sense if you also forgot to close the front door. Yet, there have been numerous strange occurrences. You don't know what to believe anymore. It all feels so confusing and empty to you. Don't let that numbness devour joy from the things you love. You didn't stop caring. There's something constantly out of sync, like two cogs that never align at the right time. You came here to heal. What did you wish to find? More things to live for, more things to... Oh, what a fucking question. What a question. What did you come here to find? More things to live for, or more things to die for? Because more things to live for would mean that we're not... So that's a very interesting way to pose this question, because more things to live for would imply that the character is having suicidal thoughts, which is terrible. More things to die for would be like, my life doesn't have a purpose and I need something, to give my life purpose. Dennis, welcome in. It's definitely 7, yeah. And 7 is an interesting film because that film has been recut. Well, not recut. It's been recolor graded multiple times. So there are several different versions of 7, and they have a very different feel to them because of the color grading. And it's a good example of how powerful color grading is to get somebody 3 or 4 different copies of the film 7 and say, watch this film on each format. And tell me if it feels different. They're like, yeah, it's crazy. It feels really different on Blu-ray to VHS. I'm like, yeah, because the color grading is completely different, and how the screen recreates the colors as well. Yes, good morning, Dennis. Good to see you. How are you? More things to live for, I suppose. You want to find something new or to revive something old. You understand what you need. It's only a matter of how. You should get inside and see what the box holds. I have the movie only on DVD. Yes, and I think even within DVD, it's been remastered a few times. You made it safely back inside, but you're so fixated on the box that everything else around you disappears. The way you hold the box effortlessly indicates it's light. You're trying to deduce the contents based on its weight. Your thoughts are racing. Violent images are surfacing in your mind. There could be something horrible in the box. Why did you think of the darkest things first? Is it easier for you to dwell on such thoughts? Be that as it may, you should open the box. I'm not sure I want to. I'm scared of what I'll find. Anyone would hesitate in your situation, but you know you can't let this slide. You found something at the location indicated by your dream. You're trying to comprehend it, but you can't come to a logical conclusion with the information you've got. You need to open the box and see what you can learn. You found a phone inside the box. On closer examination, you notice something unsettling. Isn't that your phone? Yes, it is. You must be stupefied. It's the last thing you expected to find with your phone. You must be aware of how unusual this is. How did your phone end up in the box? Rationalize. Still able to act reasonably after all this bewilderment. Your ability to reason may be the key to unlocking the truth. Try to remember the last time you used your phone. Can't seem to remember. Can you recall when you arrived at this cabin? Try to remember. You don't remember coming here, do you? Now that you reflect on it, you don't know where you are. Oh, dude, so this is one of the things, like, if you're dreaming and you want to know whether you're dreaming or not, one of the lucid dreaming techniques is when you're somewhere, if you can't remember how you got there, you're probably dreaming, right? If you can't remember how you traveled to where you are, like did you go by train? Did you go by car? Was there any traffic? Was there anyone on the train being annoying? If you can't remember the details about how you got somewhere, it's because you're dreaming, because your brain just conjures up a scenario so you can travel from there, but how did you get there, right? Either dreaming or it was a real hard Saturday night. Yeah, welcome in, Weird. Yeah, you were either dreaming or you had way too much to drink and you don't know how the fuck you got some. I have actually experienced that before. I have woken up and thought, the fuck am I? Like, this doesn't look or smell like something, like a room that I know. And then you leave and you're sort of like, you walk onto the street, you're like, this is a housing environment, so there's just houses everywhere. I'm like, I guess I just find a bus stop and then, see when the bus goes to town, and then at the town I find a train station and then I'll know where I am. But yeah, I have experienced that before. And I have experienced waking up and really quietly getting dressed and walking downstairs, and it was this house that had a set of stairs that goes down and then it turns to the left at the bottom, and then there's a toilet right by the front door. Just a strange English house thing. The stairs don't go all the way down to like a lobby area. They go down and then there's a toilet and the stairs go to the left. And I turn to the left and in the living room, there's a dining table full of a family having dinner. And I'm like, hi. And then I just left. But yeah, I was like, how the fuck did I get here? And I think their son was a friend, and I'd gone back to sleep at their spare room because I was too drunk to go home. And they just got out to work in the morning and just left me there. Anyway, now that you reflect on it, you don't know where you are. This place is unfamiliar to you. You don't know how long you've been here. Coming to realize this must be frightening. Is it possible that you were the one to hide the phone? You came here to seek solitude to get your head straight. Your phone serves as a window to the world filled with violence and hypocrisy. Whoa, what a statement. You couldn't look the other way. Oh, stop doing that. So your mouse can creep around the screen whilst and you don't know that you're about to click on OBS, and then the game goes away. But anyway, I was told that during bad dreams to wake, try to read something, a phone, a sign, or anything, whatever. Yes, and as well as looking for the time. If you try and figure out what the time is in a dream, because time is non-conformist to dream logic apparently, or something. Basically, in a dream, the reason we have clocks as human beings is because keeping track of time is something we struggle with. So in a dream, we're unable to keep track of time, so the time will always be gobbledygook. Works for me for sure. Yeah, if you can get yourself out of a bad dream, then that's good news. Because obviously the thing about dreams is they're happening in your head, but your brain is so powerful, it activates the chemical reactions within the human body to respond to the stimulus. Now there is, I think it might be a hormone, or maybe it's an endorphin, I can't remember, but there is something that secretes into your system that paralyzes your muscles when you're asleep, which is why you shouldn't really kick around in your sleep or move around in your sleep. But it's also sadly why sleep paralysis exists. And I've experienced sleep paralysis twice, where I've woken up but I can't move, and it's terrifying. Birdie, welcome in. How's it going? Good to see you. You couldn't look the other way. You need an exit from all that. You may have decided to resist temptation by tucking away your phone. Does that sound like something you do? Ooh. It's possible. You find comfort in this assumption. You're mentally exhausted. You're not well. Then the night amplifies your thoughts. Everything feels more burdensome and impassable. You need to get some sleep. There could be clarity with the dawn. Back to bed. Did you find it bizarre? What? When you think of something specific, it tends to manifest in one way or another. This is true. Like when you buy a new car, you start to recognize that car, so you see it more often. And it's not that there's more of them, it's just that you recognize it more readily. So you see it everywhere. Same with clothing and haircuts and stuff. You may notice these things only when you pay attention to them. You find it somewhat uncanny, but believe there's really nothing else to it. Have you considered there could be something more, a greater truth? Sometimes you feel like you're viewing the world through this thin, transparent veil. You find it hard to believe anything is real. Do you ever find yourself consumed by compulsive thoughts? Thoughts that you don't share with anyone. Thoughts that cause you anxiety and stress. Sometimes even happy memories feel boundless and imperfect without a reason. The veil may not exist after all. It may be your mind trying to protect itself from prolonged stress. This is something I've read about, how people that have been through significant amounts of trauma, they develop this kind of disassociation that's unconscious, where they don't know that they're disassociating. Their brain is protecting itself from thoughts it doesn't like because it's had to deal with so many thoughts that it doesn't like. So it's kind of this subconscious, I don't know which part of the brain, it's sort of, because you've got different parts of the brain and different layers of the brain. As we've evolved, we've got like the mammalian brain, the primate brain and the human brain and everything. There's different layers to it, and one part can be so unconsciously doing something that you just don't know that you're disassociating and just not paying it, which is, you get people that are like living somewhere and they haven't tidied or cleaned up in like 40 years, but they think they live in a palace because they're just gone. Wild. It's incredibly complicated, and it's crazy to me how capable the human brain is. But I just think that we exist in a society that doesn't really require people. Throughout my life, I've noticed this trend with humanity is we try to remove all of the friction from everything, but when you make something as frictionless as it can be, the investment of time and effort that the human being needs to put in is diminished, and therefore the result and the sort of the payoff of that work is diminished. So we live in a world where between Netflix, Tinder and Amazon Prime, you could have and fucking Uber Eats and everything and Just Eat or whatever, like you can have almost anything that you want at the push of a button. Like you can summon almost anything at the push of a button on your phone. Like we've removed so much of the friction that would normally limit how much we could do something or interact with something. And because of that, like lack of friction, everything feels really, really dead, because there's no, you don't have to, you don't have to earn it. You have to get it. You don't have to go and get it. You don't have to think about it. You have to learn about it. You don't have to understand it. You just, you just push a button and then it gets delivered to you. And it's like, have we taken that too far? Not me literally ordering stuff right now. Well, this is the thing, is my coasters were making too much noise, so I ordered some nice cork ones. So when I'm drinking my coffee, I don't put the mug down and make a loud noise on the microphone. But this is it, is that I'm guilty of it as well. When I say these things, I never want to seem as if I'm coming from a perspective or an imposed position of superiority, because I'm not. I'm not any better. I'm just observant of the world, and I suppose I'm fortunate enough to be articulate enough to describe these things in a way that makes sense, possibly to me. But yeah, I'm guilty of it as well. Like, why would I want to go out to events and places to meet people to find a partner when I can just go on some website where people are looking for partners and just, flick through somebody until I find somebody I like and then go on a couple of dates with, and then wonder why it doesn't fucking go anywhere. Because you just go on the internet and you just, you search for something, and it's weird that I remember eBay being the first major step for me, because I would always go to work and earn money, but then I would just spend money on the things that I had access to. There was a CD shop in the town centre. I'd go buy CDs because I used to love listening to music and everything. And yeah, skateboard bits to fix my board and everything. But then eBay came along, and suddenly there was this online marketplace where I could find so many things. Like I'd find like old like radios that were broken that nobody wanted, and I could just solder them and muck around. And then I could go on Amazon and order a book about soldering, because back in the day Amazon used to just be books. So I could order a book off Amazon and it would be posted to the house, and I could learn about soldering. And I was like, shit, like almost any book I could ever want, I can just buy it and just get it sent to me. So I can learn about whatever I want. And I can buy like old motorcycle engines and old computer games consoles and stuff off eBay that are like, you know, dirt cheap because they're broken, and I can try and fix them. And yeah, that's how I got started fixing things. I mean, I played with Lego as a kid and Meccano because my parents saw that I was good with that sort of thing. But it moved into that. Thebes, welcome in. Congratulations on third. Don't have my toilet paper sent to me, or forget I am down to the last one. But this is also kind of the thing, is that there was a pattern. I think Amazon was trying to get a pattern where you get a button, like a little QR, RF button, radio frequency button, that is Wi-Fi, and you push the button and it sends a specific signal to your router to order something, right? So you could get like a button with like your washing detergent like logo, and you push the button where you put it's like a sticky back adhesive thing, and you stick it where the washing powder goes, and when you're getting low, you push a button and it orders it for you to be sent to you. And I was like, and the pattern was, you know, the pattern was declined, so they couldn't actually do that. But that's actually like a really fucking good idea. I actually think that's a really genuinely good idea. However, what you can do is you can get what's called an RF tag. Excusez-moi. You can get an RF tag, and you can get these tags, and also NFC tags, right? And they're little plastic tags, and they're like £5 for like 20, right? And you can create an automation on your phone to do things. So when I tap it on, if I go to my desk where I work, if I touch my phone to a certain part of my desk, it communicates to all my lights and everything on my phone that I'm going to be working. So it goes into do not disturb on my phone. It turns on the desk lights. It turns off the lights in the rest of the flat, so I can just work at my desk. When I'm sitting down to stream, I'm going to set it up so I can push a button on my phone and just tap my phone, and it will run a shortcut. So you can actually automate a lot of this. So you can achieve the same thing. You can achieve the same thing. So I'm gonna get some of these. I mean, I've got some, but they haven't got any adhesive on the back. These ones are better because they've got adhesive on the back. But yeah, you just you stick them places, and then when you leave the house or enter the house, you can just automate stuff. And yeah, when you're running low on toilet paper, you can just tap your phone, because most of us have our phone with us in the toilet. Let's be honest. You can put a little, like, you can get one of these adhesive tags, you stick it there and you put it on there, and it's going to order you some toilet paper. So it'll be delivered. So when you get down to your last few, you could just tap the button and it will order it for you. And I thought that's actually kind of fucking clever. That's actually, yeah, it is pretty fucking clever. Because yeah, like whenever I go on the tube, like I literally just double tap that. And like whenever I go on the tube in London, I just double tap that and my card comes up on my watch. And then I just tap my watch, and I tap in when I go on the tube, and then I tap out when I leave, and it works out where those 2 points are and charges me for the ride. And it's actually much cheaper that way. But the tube is still pretty cheap. But yeah, simple things like that. Like technology. The thing is, we have so much technology. Technology could make so many lives better. It could make so many things about day-to-day life smoother, easier. But it wouldn't make money, so but the second there's profit or data involved in something, and the technology just gets fucking shoehorned in to your life. So now, when I go to a parking machine to buy a ticket, because back in the day, you used to go there, put in a few quid, you used to get a ticket that would last you for 3-4 hours, you used to leave that on the dashboard, and then you used to fuck off. It was actually not that bad of a system, but now I've got to get an app on my phone. I've got to put my car registration and my details and my payment details in there. So my name, my address, my billing address, my bank card, my car's registration. So when I go somewhere, I can now pay for parking on my phone. to make it a bit easier, but I had to hand over a bunch of my data to do that. And the annoying thing is that when every multi-story car park, almost every, and some of the normal car parks as well, some of the just a big space to park cars, they're all going down the same route. They're being bought by these companies where they just fucking, like, you have to sign up to create an account and download their app and put all your details into an app to pay for 1 hour's worth of parking. And it's like, fuck off, man. Like, and the thing is, the parking isn't even cheap. They're charging a lot for the parking, but they're getting the data as well. And everything has been pivoted towards data acquisition. It's no longer about seamless, frictionless organization, make it as quick and easy as possible. It's all about data acquisitions. And now there's a bunch of extra hoops people have to jump through just to do simple things like paying to park somewhere, you know? And that whole business model only exists because if you park somewhere where you're not supposed to, the government will just fine you £112. It's just, fuck's sake, man. Honestly. Still trying to go out and actually search for stuff in town, but not as much. Yeah, well, this is the thing. Is I don't mind I don't mind going out to find things, but I'm so fed up with public spaces. It's just nobody looks where they're going. Everybody is so self-absorbed. Nobody's willing to make any effort to coexist with other people. Everybody is so self-centered in the 2020s onwards. As soon as social media feeds stopped being catered towards demographics and started being catered to the specific user, and then they gather information about that specific user and then group them somewhere else. It used to be, oh, you're male, you're this age range, you'll be interested in this, this, and this, and this, right? But now everyone has their own specifically catered algorithm, and they can align with other people, of course. But the kind of bias and delusion that gets fabricated when somebody has a little fucking bubble of social media they can live in, where their views are constantly reinforced because it makes them more likely to spend more time in the app because they don't come across things they don't like. So because they don't come across things they don't like very often, when they come across something they don't like, they lose their fucking minds. And that's why you see people on the internet crashing out about things. Because we're so, like, enveloped in our own little bubble, and like I feel as if I want to be out in public more, and I want people to be in public interacting with real people more. But fuck me, people are so annoying. People are so fucking annoying. Like, the amount of people that refuse to make eye contact with another human being, so they will walk like this. They'll walk at like fucking 20 degrees, like you're definitely within, you're not even in their peripheral vision. You're literally just to the right of their core vision, right? You're not peripheral at all. You're literally, and like, you're walking down the street and you see somebody in your peripheral vision slowly drifting towards you, slowly drifting towards you, slowly drifting towards you, and they just walk straight in front of you, and you're like, are you fucking blind? But this thing is, people won't make eye contact anymore. So like when you're like, morning, they're like, and I'm like, what the fuck is the problem? I'm just being polite. And then everyone wonders why nobody's polite. It's just, it's fucking bonkers. I don't fucking get it. Where juicy data machines companies draw that. Well, this is it, is that Google proved that data is the new oil, right? So now companies don't make products that are so good that people talk about them and tell their friends and buy them and continue to buy them. People make products that human beings are kind of forced into needing just so they can acquire data. Like, everything has to be online because that's how they acquire the data, right? But with this online Internet of Things life, like when Amazon AWS went down, airports were fucking completely shut down. People's beds were like on the highest heat setting, so they were overheating themselves, or their bed was in the upright position, like those beds that you push a button and it helps you get out of bed because you've got a bad back. That was in the upright position. Someone couldn't put it back down again, so they couldn't go to sleep because their bed was broken because it's connected to the internet. And I'm like, so you can't override it to make it flat? No. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? What kind of fucking dystopian digital hellscape have we created? It's fucking ridiculous. I should sell my own data, cut out the middleman. I know what I had for dinner tonight. A reasonable price was $4.99. Exactly, this is it. Like, I'll just sell my own data. It might help me pay for the fucking rent. Also, there's new AI assistant in the oh yeah weird fucking when everyone's like, just to make you aware, in 2026 we're going to be increasing your subscriptions from blah 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 to blah 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 blah. This is going to allow us to incorporate a new way of thinking and bring AI features that are going to make up great value adds for blah blah blah. It's like, oh, I don't want it. Let me pay for the cheaper subscription. It should be optional, but no, you're forced into paying extra money every month for a bunch of features which probably don't work, I don't want anything to do with, and I can't turn off. And I'm like, oh, mate, it's so annoying. It's so fucking annoying. People should not search Wi-Fi in streams. There are better options. Wi-Fi in streams? I'm not sure. Streaming on Wi-Fi is a bit dangerous. Hold a door open and not a nod or thank you or a fuck you. Nothing exactly. Yeah, it's just... Yeah, and the thing is, like, the way people... on the internet, people literally say things like, you know, those people out there, they're just NPCs. And I'm like, they're not. They're human beings with thoughts and feelings and emotions and trauma and things they like and don't like. They're a fucking human being. How fucking dare this younger generation, sorry to get on my soapbox, but they're just refer to people as NPCs as if they're just background to their life. How self-centered are you? Sorry. Got a fucking itchy nose. I fucking trimmed everything, and the fucking clipper I've got like a nose hair trimmer, and it's like a little fucking like nipple with like slits in it, and it's got a blade that spins around, and it fucking cut a chunk of my nose, the inside of my nose out. It was so fucking, I nearly fucking threw the thing at the ground. But yes, the moustache is getting a bit long. I might have to give it a bit of a tidy up because it is itching a bit. Wife or husband, bad joke, I know. When Germans visit the doctor, we greet people in the waiting room. How is that on your place? No, nobody says a fucking word. We're so disconnected, and yet everyone cries out of no community of their own. Exactly, buddy. And the thing is, like, everybody wants a village, but nobody wants to be a villager, right? Everyone's like, oh, I remember when it was so nice, you know, everybody knew each other, there was a community, and people helped each other out, and if you weren't going to be home one day, somebody else would let the plumber in to fix your bath or whatever. There was a real community spirit. We've completely lost that now. But then they're on fucking Facebook saying, get rid of these people. I don't want these people in my country. It's like, fuck off, man. You're a walking contradiction. You know, everybody wants a village, but nobody wants to be a villager. Everybody wants things to change, but nobody wants to change what they are. And that's it. Nobody wants to be open-minded about living a life that works for everybody, which is why oppression and discrimination are still problems in the big 2025. We still have people that discriminate against others, you know, indiscriminately. What's the word for it? They don't, there's no logic behind it. They don't fucking, you know, they just fucking discriminate against because they don't like them. And this is partially part of the problem with modern society is the internet and echo chambers and fucking toxic fucking just chatting streamers and podcasters and stuff and niche internet celebrities and all this bollocks. They've created a narrative that allows people to hide behind. They've created a narrative that people can hide behind about how there's all these frontline issues and high-level things going wrong with the world, and this is why it's a problem. If you peel all that back, they're just a bit bigoted and a bit fucking, you know, they're just a bit shit, you know? But they don't want to admit that. They don't want to say that they need to grow as a person when they can defend themselves and actually say, well, actually, from my point of view, I'm allowed to hate these people because of my fucking belief in the world. It's bollocks. Stop hiding behind some ideology and fucking stand on your own 2 feet and fucking confirm that you don't like something because you don't like it and back it up. You shouldn't need other people to back it up for you. You should be able to fucking explain yourself, but they can't. This is it. When somebody is racist, I just continue to pretend like I don't understand what they're getting at. They make a racist remark. I'm like, what do you mean? Oh yeah, you know, because I'm like, because what? Because of this, this, and this. I'm like, but why would you think that? Because of this. But why would you believe that? And like, I keep asking them to unpack it, and they eventually back themselves into a corner where they realize, actually, I have no basis in reality or founding or base of any sort of logic for why I've just made that joke. It doesn't actually, I've got no proof whatsoever. I'm only making it because it made some people in the pub laugh. And it's like, I'm sorry, that's not good enough. You're a human being. You have access to the internet. You have access to every piece of information ever conceived in human history right fucking here in your pocket. There's no excuse to be uneducated. I'm sorry. You can go out there and find the knowledge. you can go out there and find it. Anyway, we've got an outbreak coming up, chat. I need to pop you guys on the BRB screen. There'll be a raffle and some clips for you guys that want to hang out. Please feel free to get up and move around, grab a drink or a snack. You won't miss anything. I'm going to take a break as well. And we also have anonymous follows on the BRB screen, so if you want to follow without any alerts going off, don't worry. Once we're over there, they're completely anonymous. Most people have advice for others. Well, most people have advice for others, but they refuse to take advice. This is the dichotomy. This is the fucking duality of it all. Anyway, I'm going to go for the break. I'll come back. I'm not going to crash out. I'll be right back. But yes, we can continue this conversation because it's an interesting one. But yes, I'll be right back. We need to find not just one, but 5 beavers, and literally everywhere, just doesn't have beavers at all. There's 0 beaver. It's just like me when I go on a night out. EU Reezy. EU Reezy, there we go. So non-raiders, please feel free to stop by this channel and have a look. Oh, what game is this?
What am I witnessing?
Are we watching a clip of somebody playing a Star Wars game? This clipception, chat. Look at this. Where else do you get this kind of integration?
What a clip.
Nice AI.
Daddy underscore Katsy says bread. Would you rather have a calzone or a matter baby?
Would you rather have a calzone or a matter baby? What's a matter baby? What's the matter?
No! Stop it.
You motherfucker. I need... Did we see my fucking partner just standing there not doing anything? And it's very, very powerful that I wanted to amass as much money and guns and loot and everything. I wanted to have all the best loot. I wanted to have a bunch of money. I wanted to have all the guns. I wanted to upgrade all the guns. I wanted to have all the best stuff. And then I realized Arthur Morgan was going to die, and it made me realize that none of that shit actually matters. And that, hands down, is one of the most significant things a game has made me feel for a very long time. I suddenly didn't give a fuck about the money. I didn't give a fuck about getting a cool hat or a cool gun with engravings on it. And I gave away as much money as I fucking could. I fucking did so many missions, and I refused to accept rewards, and I gave people money because I realized I wasn't going to need it. I just didn't want to be a loot goblin. I realized I didn't need to have these, but there was no point. Oh. Finished him up by stabbing him in the anus. We'll take it. We'll take it. You got to take what you can get, even if it is in the anus. I agree. It is nice when you get a game that's, you know, firmly planted in some sense of reality, but then it completely fucking pulls the wool over your eyes. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate that. People search for a partner on the internet. Yeah, I mean, on the surface, like, this whole online dating thing is like, it makes sense, like helping people that are looking, because there's obviously like there's a societal norm where the majority of blokes are looking for a girlfriend, and the majority of girls have a boyfriend and want to be left alone, and that's just how it is. So being able to go somewhere and know that everyone there is looking for a relationship, and a lot of these dating apps, apparently you can specify whether you want, you know, short term or long term, you know, yeah, we know what that means. So I think that, you know, creating a way of, like, you know, organizing and referencing all of the people that are in your area that are interested in a particular thing and may be compatible with you, it does allow you to make connections with people without having to rely on fate, right? So I can see why it does have some, you know, some validity and some, you know, potential to it. However, apparently a lot of these, you know, dating site, website program things, that there's an awful lot of like algorithmic kind of manipulation going on, where you can kind of, if you pay to be a gold or special platinum user, you get to do a few things that make you more, that they give you more of an edge when it comes to standing out. And that as soon as that happens, like, well, this is a fucking scam. Like, you're not operating. And I appreciate the app will have ads to pay for the app itself, but as soon as it becomes a profit-driven enterprise where you're supposed to pay the platform to do things that are fairly, I mean, you know, to be able to sort of list things, you know, and apparently someone said on certain apps you can pay to, you're supposed to provide like a, you know, your height, your weight, your age or whatever, and you can pay to hide those values to people that see you so they don't hold you back. And I was like, oh, that's a bit fucking dishonest. And obviously you have to pay for the privilege of doing that. And I was like, well, why don't you just not provide it? Well, you can't create a profile unless you provide it. And I was like, oh, fucking hell, that's fucked. But yeah, but I will be honest, it's an interesting situation because, you know, when I did use one for a while, yeah, I went on loads and loads of dates. I was like, well, this is better than before. I'm going on loads of dates, but none of those dates went anywhere, you know. And I begun to get the feeling that there's a reason why people are on those apps, and they're on those apps because they're constantly in and out of relationships, and they're constantly in and out of relationships because of something that they are. And that means that even if you do meet somebody, you know, you match with them, you chat to them, you go out and meet them a bunch of times, you get into a relationship, and then you realize why they were on a dating app, because, you know, they have something about them that makes them not the best partner, and they're not willing to admit that. And I'm happy to admit that there were things that I used to be in the past when I was drinking and doing drugs and riding BMX and focusing on myself and my hobbies a lot. I didn't really make space in my life for other people, which meant that when I had a partner that genuinely wanted to be a part of my life and not just my partner, it was very difficult because there wasn't any space or time for them to exist in. So that's the thing that I have to work on. But, you know, now that I've given up alcohol, given up drugs, given up smoking, given up gambling, given up riding BMX, given up going out until 3 in the morning on the weekends, now that I hardly do anything, nobody wants to know. Now I'm boring because I don't do anything. So I have all this time, and I started streaming, you know, as a way to sort of fill my time. But yeah, it's funny how that works, that, you know, I could always get a partner when I was going out and doing all that stuff. I could always find a partner every, you know, 5-6 months, but it would never last because my lifestyle didn't really help the relationship exist. But now that I don't do all that stuff, nobody wants to know. And I'm like, oh, do you know what? I give up. I fucking give up, whatever, you know. Found mine on the internet. Yeah, it can work. It definitely can work. And this is, yeah, meeting friends of friends and stuff. Made my online profile very silly and a lot less noise. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the thing is, you've got to be, it sounds cheesy, but you have got to be yourself. You just have got to be yourself. Everyone has baggage, but not everyone is aware of it, unfortunately. Yeah, this is it. People think that people pose everything as a contrast to themselves before people understand that they are a human being who is infallible as well. And I had to meditate on that on the one. That's why I made the decision that actually going out and partying, yes, I'm good at it. I can go out and party, and I'm very energetic and very chatty and very friendly. I'm not very inhibited. I just like to have fun, and people like people that have fun because that makes them have fun. I'm the life and soul of the party, and that's where I fit in. But it was costing me a fortune. You know, it's fucking expensive to maintain habits like that. And it's fucking bad for your health. It was really fucking bad for my health. I was losing so much time, and it was time when I was young as well. That's the thing that really stings, is throughout my 20s, at least 2 days a week, I was just in bed, unable to fucking function. I could barely fucking keep my eyes open, and I was just a complete mess. And I wasted 2 days a week, so that's eight days a month, so a whole week of every month I wasted. Every month of every year from like 19 to like 29. It's like a decade. So there's probably about a year that I spent just fucking in bed or on the floor of some fucking house somewhere, passed out, hungover, unable to fucking function. And I'm just like, what a fucking waste. And I had a good time when I was doing it, but the aftermath was not a good time. And that was time that went by that I lost because of that. So I made all these decisions to stop all that, but that's a different story. But yeah. But you have got to be yourself. You have got to be yourself. Schrodinger's boyfriend. Maintain healthy habits, geek out. Well, yeah, and like, I feel like there's kind of like this, it's weird how like, there were certain people that were like, oh, like, you know, you've sold out or whatever, and I know you just play video games. You're a 40-year-old man. Isn't it a bit childish to play video games? I'm like, well, I've met a bunch of amazing people. I've experienced a bunch of amazing stories, and I've learned a lot about, you know, people's experiences by the games that they make that represent their experiences. And I've had my understanding of the world broadened by playing a video game and suddenly experiencing what it's like to be somebody else, because I'm playing a game made by somebody else who had that experience, right? And it's transference, and that's one of the fundamental premises of art for me, is that when I look at a painting or a sculpture or a video game or a film or a photograph or whatever, if I can feel something that I don't quite recognize, I'm like, oh yeah. So in that scenario, the fear would be that, because there are certain situations where like my lack of fear has got me into trouble in the past. But yeah, when I go and do something and something scares me, that excites me and that makes me quite like energized. Whereas other people, when something scares them, it paralyzes them. And I've never experienced that in real life. But when I play a video game and suddenly my movement and my ability to stop what's happening on screen is taken away from me, I suddenly understand that's what it feels like. So I understand something. So yeah. And, you know, I'm like, well, what would you rather do? Would you rather I just fucking kept doing cocaine and MDMA and drinking whiskey like it was water and smoking 40 cigarettes a day until I'm fucking 45 and I croak and just fucking fall over and die? You know, I'm not going to do it. And I remember one person was criticizing me, saying, oh, you know, you went soft. You went soft. And I was like, you don't understand what being an addict is like. This is just a hobby for you. You go out, you do some drugs, and you drink some alcohol, and you have fun. And then you wake up the next day feeling a bit groggy and have a bit of a headache, and then you go to work. You've never been fucking out of your face for a whole week straight. You've never gone to work fucking fried, still fucking all over the place, a complete shambles because of drugs. You've never done that. You've never gone to see your family when you're fucked up, like really fucked up. You've never done that. It's not a fucking problem for you. So you don't know what soft is. You don't know what it is. So stay in your fucking lane. It really pissed me off when people that were like not even that bad were like, oh, he's gone soft. What the fuck do you mean have I gone soft? You've never gone hard, mate. You know, you fucking have like fucking you have half a bottle of whiskey and you've had enough. Like there's a bottom. You hit the bottom. But with me, there was no bottom. I would just keep going. That's why it was a problem. Anyway. I mean, the phrase sounds typical German, so rightfully so. You're being, yeah, this is it, you know, and you know, there's more to life. There's more to life. You know, you can party and have fun, but there's more to life. And I think that if you can control it, and it's only something that, because you know, there are things like gambling. I just stopped doing it. I was like, this is shit. I'm just going to stop. But other people, they're completely addicted to it, and they'll gamble over anything. But me, I was like, I just don't, yeah, it's fun, it's exciting, it's dangerous, but yeah, I'm done with it. And I just stopped. The gambling was the easiest thing to stop. That was the easiest thing for me to stop. But cigarettes and whiskey, fuck, it took me years and years of trying to cut down and change the way I did it to try and make it more manageable. But in the end, I just had to cut it loose. But yeah, it's just, you know, but if you can control it, you know, if it's something you do on the weekend, like going out and having a few drinks with your friends on a Friday or a Saturday night and then not drinking for the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's fine. But, you know, when you're drinking from midday onwards, most days, it's a fucking problem, you know? You have a problem and you have to admit that. Choose life, exactly, yeah, you know. Go out there and you're not just a name, you're not just a code name, you're not just a mission, you know, you can go out there and have your own life. It's very, very poignant and bittersweet kind of, you know, because bless him, Snake has only ever been used as a weapon. And it's interesting how Snake is kind of like a I can't. You're playing Metal Gear Solid 4, so there's plot points in Metal Gear Solid. I think I've seen you play past that point, but I won't say anything just yet. But yeah, Snake's always been used as a weapon, right? So they appreciate life because they've only ever been able to sort of experience it by being a weapon that's used to take life away for the greater good. But they appreciate life, you know. That's why, you know, Metal Gear Solid 1, when you played that, at the end of it, they were like, let's just fucking go live in a cabin in the woods in the middle of nowhere. And I've romanticized doing that my whole life since playing Metal Gear Solid 1. I was like, yeah, all of this is bollocks. Let's just go live in the woods, you know, fuck everyone else. Yeah, but, you know, they'll always find you. It's hard enough to realise there is a problem, but to put a stop to it, that is not soft. Yeah, and this is it. It's just sort of like, yeah, it's like it was easy. You know, it was, you know, because I knew how to do it and I knew where to get it and I knew how much it cost and I had a job that I would pay, you know, I could afford it. You know, it wasn't difficult to do, and that's why it was a problem, because it was having a massively negative effect on my life in so many ways. But it's just because I just wanted to have as much fun as possible. I wanted to go out, start having fun, and then just never stop having fun. Buddy, thank you for gifting a sub to Slipsist. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Thank you. I appreciate the sub. Thank you. Slipsist, enjoy the ad-free viewing and the emotes. Make sure you say thank you to Birdie as well. That was very sweet of you. Thank you. Enjoy the raffle game. But yeah, you've got to look at the things you do. And one of the things I've meditated on is everything in moderation, including moderation. Because there was a period where I'd given everything up and I just didn't do anything. I never cut loose. I never pushed anything. Birdie, thank you. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Becca as well. Enjoy. Birdie, stop subbing people up. That's very kind of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You're too kind. Way too kind. No, it's fine. It's fine. I appreciate it. It's not necessary. I'm not a full-timer. I'm just a hobbyist. But that really does help, honestly, because obviously, as well as it helps, it means people don't have to watch ads. People get to use the emotes, but also, if the platform sees that people sub to my channel, it helps the channel out as well. And the more people that I can get into the channel, the more people I can talk about things and raise money for charity with. So it all kind of, but I don't like talking about it, but yeah. But thank you. That's very, very kind of you. That's very kind. But yes, enjoy the emotes, everybody, and the ad-free viewing. Anyway, but yes, I think that finding the things that are causing harm, you have to. I started to meditate on the concept of time and energy, and how you kind of, those are your two main resources. We have capitalism and there's money, but money is just what you get when you exchange time and energy, right? You have a certain amount of time and a certain amount of energy, and you exchange that for currency to use within a system. But in life, you know, your hobbies and your well-being and your emotional, you know, intelligence is not a job. It's your life. It's different, and you have to think of. Yes, well, that will start a hype train. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yes, thank you so much. That's so kind of you, honestly. But yeah, we don't get a hype train very often. But yes, you have to think about the time and the energy you put into things. And you put time and energy into things, and you get something back for that. But I was putting time and energy into work to spend money on drugs and alcohol so I could have fun. But when you think of all the time spent working and the time and the energy, and then to get the money, and then to then have fun, and then be hung over and strung out and having withdrawal symptoms from drugs, there's a bit of fun in the middle, but there's a whole bunch of shit either side. And I was like, this is not a good equation. This is not a good exchange. So I need to change this. And I did. So anyway, let's play the video game. Thank you all for the gifted subs. And Birdie, thank you so much for the gifted subs. I appreciate that. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right, I'll have to read this out because the hype train gets in the way of the text. I will read it out, so I apologize. We are going to play the video game. We're going to play the video game, I promise. It may be your mind trying to protect itself from prolonged stress. Maybe you should seek help. I got this. You may be right. The longer it takes, the easier it is to procrastinate. It's true. You should think about it. Be that as it may, the best thing for you right now is to get some rest. Close your eyes. But yes, chat, think about the things that you do with your time and your energy, and then think about what you get back. And you have to ask yourself, like, what adds value in like a genuine and sustainable way. So for me at the moment, I know I'm not sleeping enough. Anonymous, I see. Thank you, Anonymous. I appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. I think the train just finished, but it doesn't matter. But thank you all. Thank you all for the gifted subs. Thank you all for your time and energy. Like I say, very, very important. There's lots of other streams out there, but you guys choose to come and hang out here, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. It's incredibly kind of you. I know that I don't always play the most interesting and popular games. I'm not always doing something super interesting, but I like to just be myself and build a community of people that like what we do here. Because at the moment there's this big focus on trying to manipulate everything to try and make the stats good, and the platform is just manipulating them right back, and it's starting a bit of a war, a metrics war, where people are doing, you know, underhanded things to inflate their metrics, and then the platform is doing underhanded things to deflate metrics. It's creating a very, very turbulent and toxic atmosphere. So I'm actually much more focused on just doing what I want to do and seeing how it pans out. If the platform doesn't like it, fuck them, I don't care. Like, I will not, my integrity is not for sale. I'll be here talking about video games, talking about life, and connecting to people, regardless of whether the platform wants it or not. And you guys that come here and hang out are a reminder that there are other people out there that feel the same way. And I appreciate you guys so much, so thank you. Becca.
It's raining bits. Thanks, Beckaboo3548.
Thank you so much for the bits. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 500 bits? That's a lot of bits. That is a lot of bits. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's very kind of you, Becca. Thank you. So I think it's told me, oh, the train's updated. Oh, sorry, I thought the train had finished. Oh, a level 1 achieved. Oh, it's because the level 1 complete. I don't get hype trains, so I don't know how they work. But yeah, thank you so much for the hype train, gang. I appreciate that. But yes, I wondered why this was still on the screen, because it's going to block the text, unfortunately. But I think it's important to have something that represents that you guys are doing something, because otherwise it feels a bit sort of, you know, I feel bad enough that, you know, I don't do enough for you guys that sub already anyway. But thank you so much. You guys are way too kind. Thank you. Right, so what's this? You're screaming into the darkness, leaning against the cold concrete wall. You're looking at yourself with the eyes of someone else. Just woke up the cat. Sorry, Bubba. Abrupt flashes of mindless score. Your body is shaking and writhing without control. You're attempting to avert your gaze, but you can't tear your eyes away from the grey walls and the grey corner. 15, it said. You've seen flashes of a triangular silhouette on the horizon, towering black water, waves as its pulse, brown noise as its voice. It's calling you. Urgency, disarray, despair, shame, panic, but only briefly. A mere echo of the screams remains. You are furthering away. You're floating to safety. Next dream. I'm the man in the gas mask, and I ask you this. Do you believe in my existence? Yes. Will you trust my benevolence? Yes. Will you accept my truth? Yes. If I lead, will you follow? Yes. You have fully accepted my existence. You have been confined for too long. You need to see what's on the other side of the veil. I can show you. The path is concealed within the gallery. Wake up. Oh, it's getting a bit scary. Game looks very World of Horror. Yes, I think because I played World of Horror, this got suggested to me. World of Horror was really, really cool. Although I think the trailer for World of Horror sold me an idea that didn't quite come to reality, which is a shame, because the trailer had lots and lots of animated sequences that were dithered, but it was much more static imagery. The animation was quite dialed back for the actual game, which is a real shame. I think a game where you have like cutscenes that you can unlock under certain criteria, I want to see all the cutscenes, right? And I've played these sort of, you know, choose your own adventure games where you choose an option and you go down a branching path, and there's cutscenes that you unlock along the way. And then sometimes you get a tree that shows you what you have and haven't unlocked, so you can unlock every path, and you get to see every single cutscene. But this one, yeah, and maybe because the budget or the team or resource was two. Welcome in, team. Thank you so much for the resub. I appreciate that. How many months has that been now? It's been a long time. 21 months. It's almost 2 years, dude. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, dude. And yes, thank you so much for the hype train, gang. That's really, really kind of you, honestly. As I say, we don't often see them here in these parts because it's a much quieter stream these days after all the changes that have happened. But thank you so much. That's really, really kind of you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. We do like it. And I like you guys being here. This is adorable. Yeah, I like the little bongo guy. I like the bongo guy. Thank you for the resub, too. I really appreciate that, dude. Enjoy your raffle, gang. I've been waiting. I've been wanting that one. Indeed. Oh, the frog. The frog. Yeah. There's a few. They've added a few hype training emotes, and then I got a golden kappa one the other day. Not here, on somebody else's stream. But yeah. No, I appreciate you guys so much. Honestly, I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well. Thanks. Like I said, I started the stream. I've got a croissant. I've got a coffee. My cat was asleep before the game went all fucking jump scare horror sounds, fucking digital distortion and everything. But he's gone back to sleep because he knows he's okay. Yeah, I've got coffee, got a croissant, got a new game to play, got some lovely people in chat. Lots of lovely people today. We had a very good stream so far. Lots and lots of lovely people being lovely and supportive, which is very, very kind. But yes, I'm doing very well. Very, very well. How are you, dude? How are you doing? But yeah, no, you guys that show up and redeem all the first, second, and third, you guys that are here on the on the starting scene screen, like whenever I start a stream, there's a handful of people that show up immediately. It's so heartwarming because it's like, it has got to the stage where like I have had to sit down and ask myself, like, am I a dead creator or am I just streaming on a dying platform? And I think it could be a bit of both. You know, I've never had a delusion of being, you know, successful. I've always done this because I love it. And that's why no matter what happens, I'm not going to stop because I fucking love doing this. I love this shit. I love playing video games and talking to you guys. It's so much fun. Whereas other kinds of, you know, whenever I play a video game offline and something happens and you guys aren't here to share it with, I'm always like, oh, it always makes me feel kind of sad. I'm like, well, this is just how I play video games now. So like I say, whatever the platform wants to do is up to them. You know, they can fumble the bag again if they want. YouTube is literally right there. And yeah, YouTube seems to be a good place to go as well. YouTube, when you post your content, if you're dedicated and you post regularly and you look at the content, you look at all the metrics and feedback you get, you can adjust your content and start to build an audience on YouTube. Yeah, so YouTube is always there, you know. But anyway, but yes, again, thank you guys. I can't thank you guys enough, honestly. Doing good, chill day, and then fireworks later. I hope you enjoy the fireworks. People have been setting off fireworks here where I live since like the 3rd. And like even last night they were setting off fireworks. And I'm like, it's the fucking 7th, you know. Like 2 days since bonfire night. But anyway. It looks like I won't be getting any sleep. You can't shake the image of the man in the gas mask from your head. Do you think he is malevolent? Seems that way. You are suspicious of him. Of course, he's wearing a mask. Any character in a narrative wearing a mask, literally wearing a mask, you know, you struggle to decide if he exists or not. But it could be he is trying to convey something. He might be trying to help you. You need closure. You need to find clarity amid the dissonance. You're tired of temporarily mending your well-being. You want to find something long-lasting. Yeah. Isn't that the reason you came here? You must make it through the night. Girl, hold on. There's so many references, dude. Maybe you should listen to the man in the gas mask. Maybe he is the only one who can help you. I don't know if I can. I don't know how. You need to step outside the logic. Maybe there's a clue in what he said. You remember him mentioning a gallery. Could it mean the gallery on your phone? It'd be worth a look. Well, not your phone. The gallery is already open. There's a picture of the cabin you were in. You must have taken this photo upon your arrival, even though you can't remember doing so. Swipe right or swipe left. There are no more recent pictures available. Swipe left. Ah, I see. Picture of you, of your friends. You remember the day you took this photo. It was an unusually sunny and warm mid-fall day. You all went out to enjoy the sunshine after a few drinks. Later it started pouring like never before. You were all wet and cold, but happy at the end of the day. It's a memory you treasure for you. You're wondering how your friends are doing. You think you have been a good friend. Excuse me. You feel like you have taken your friends for granted. You should call them more frequently. Ask how they're doing more often. Do not let them fade out of your life. You'll need them and their laughter. You're still struggling to watch photos of her. You passed away recently. You miss her so much that there are no words to describe it. You feel like you let her down. You knew she was old and not well. You did the right thing by letting her go. Deep down inside, you understand and accept this. There will come a day when the grief turns into a fond memory. Ah, so they lost somebody recently. A puppy. Picture of an old mill. Find it somehow familiar. You've seen it near the cabin, yet you cannot remember taking this photo. A sense of dread is starting to build within you as you realise the order of the photos. You took this picture before your dog passed away. Yeah, so that picture was before. Oh, this image is months old. You don't remember when you came here. You're sure you came here after saying goodbye to your dog. Your head is trying to process this paradox. Have you been here before? Have you already done all this? Are you trapped in some unnatural cycle? Is this Silent Hill 2? Everything has been such a blur to you lately. Be that as it may, can you see something strange in this image? So yeah, I'm getting the impression that yeah, we're dreaming. We dream in this game, but I think this whole game is a dream in and of itself. And they keep saying, "Be that as it may," and I'm not sure if that's, you know, like a catchphrase or like a trigger phrase or something. But yeah, so I've been a pain with trying to get the kids to sleep. Yeah, it's difficult because they can hear people outside doing things, and yeah, they want to go out and do things because they're young and they've got all the energy in the world. But you're like, no, please just go to sleep. No, you mean, dude. Find it difficult to discern what you are looking at. Zoom in. Oh. It's the man in the gas mask. What did you think you saw? There was someone in the photo. It wasn't you. You must have taken the photo. I must find the current turn of events terrifying. This is the moment when your logic begins to fail you. The great disorder in your head is spiraling out of control. You feel it physically bounding your head. Attempt to break free. There is no way for you to regain control. You've resisted for so long. You can't hold it any longer. You must surrender to chaos. What do you have to lose? Everything. Things you are holding on to no longer have much value for you. You're starting to cave in. This amorphous mass of anxiety and stress has grown unbearable. It has physically begun to weigh down on your shoulders. The dawn could alleviate some of your burdens, but you can't shoulder them for the night. You must act before you get crushed under all the weight. What should I do? Find the man in the gas mask. You must confront him if he's real. You must cast him away if he's a figment of your imagination. Go to the old mill. Seek him out. Front door is open yet again. Can you remember if you closed it? I'm not sure if I did. I think I did. Are you certain? Can you picture the moment you closed the door? You were anxious earlier and you noticed the door was open. Surely you wanted to avoid repeating your mistake. How come the door is open? I may have left it and someone else left it open. You're starting to believe someone is toying with you. You think it was the man in the gas mask. Suddenly your thoughts are drawn to a strange feeling. Look at your left wrist, look at your right wrist. Does your hand feel numb? Sometimes you feel like there's something more than blood coursing through your veins. These thoughts come to you with urgency. You don't know why. Your thoughts are not related to anything concrete. They're just thoughts. Trying to think about it. Instead, set your mind to the old mill. You're bound to find answers there. How strange. You feel more at ease now that you're out of the cabin. Previously, it was the other way around. A drizzling rain has replaced the chilly autumn wind. It's still cold outside, but you don't mind. You welcome it. Any physical sensation draws you closer to reality. It guides you in the right direction and allows you to breathe more freely. You can feel the gravel beneath your feet more distinctly. A feeling that provides comfort. A feeling that reassures you of your existence in this space. You are here. You are alive. If only you could feel such a presence and connection more often. You think it's unfair. You're not a bad person. Why are you being tormented like this? You put on a brave face and pretend you're fine. You make sure they don't see how broken you are. But is that strength or quite the opposite? How much of yourself are you willing to keep hidden? Be that as it may, you should get going. This path leads to the old mill. Get going. I blame Jeff. The old mill lies beyond the ridge. You're almost there. You thought you heard something. It sounded like a branch snapping nearby. A strange feeling comes over you as you realise you're not alone. Take a moment to steady your breath. Try to avoid paying too much attention to the sound of your breathing. Let it come naturally. Trick yourself into thinking something else. You got this. So yeah, I get the impression that the character in the game has gone through some anxiety in the past. There's something. It's a bear. Can you see something moving in the distance? It's coming this way. This is not the man in the gas mask. It's a grizzly bear. You must stay very still. Can you feel a surge of adrenaline kicking in, I bet? Your heart is thumping in your chest. Fight or flight. But you can't run. It would be suicidal to start running. You should retrace your steps slowly back the way you came. But your legs are feeling like jelly. You struggle to move them. You struggle to stand still. The tension has become intolerable. You must get out of this situation. You want to close your eyes and count to 10. Out of sight, out of mind. Live or die. Throw yourself to chance. Close your eyes. Do nothing. Oh, this is risky. Close your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're slowly looking at your surroundings, but you can't see the bear anymore. It didn't see you as a threat. You were defenseless, but it meant you no harm. It looks like you're safe. The grizzly bear. You've never encountered a grizzly bear before. You feel both shaken and exhilarated by this encounter. Bears have always been meaningful to you in some way. Exactly, Becca. I thought I heard that crunching noise. I was like, that's it, game over. I'm going to have to start again. They periodically appear in your dreams. Do you believe your dreams are trying to tell you something? Yeah. You found a pattern in their appearance. Bears may symbolize a significant change in your life. Be that as it may, you should get going. The old mill is waiting for you just over that ridge. Get to the mill. Yeah, I thought, we were going to close our eyes and it was going to say the bear. You feel the breath of the bear on the back of your neck. And then before you know it, you're being thrown around like a rag doll and then game over and it starts again. You're here at the old mill. The night has reached its darkest moment. There's very little light left. You feel a coldness differently in the dark when in darkness. You find it more piercing and desperate. You feel it's unforgiving and somehow more final. You no longer welcome it. The drizzle has soaked your clothes. You're tired and cold. The old mill looks deserted. The unpleasant scent of damp, swollen wood fills your nostrils. You're thinking of turning back, aren't you? No. No one would blame you if you did. It looks like there's nothing here. This is such a hard pill to swallow for you. Deep down inside, you believe that you would find something here. Oh. Your heart skips a beat. The old mill comes alive. You're starting to feel dizzy due to the sudden rush of thoughts and emotions. You stand quietly, trying to steady your breath and soothe your head. That's actually kind of annoying. I accidentally click outside the game and it stops it. There's no way to separate or organise your thoughts. They come like flashes. You can grab them briefly before you realise they're gone. How could anyone navigate their way through such a cacophony? Broken words are spiralling from this chaos into your head. I am waiting for you. You feel shaken at your limit. You must focus all your remaining energy. He is waiting for you in the old mill. Continue towards the old mill. So I think, like, I'm getting the impression there's branching paths, and at some point you have to like, even though it's a bad idea, you have to just go with it. Like, at this point it said, you know, nobody would blame you for turning back, so if you turn back, but I think that there's some branching paths going on. So yeah, I mean, there must be, because that's the premise of the game, surely. You're standing at the bottom of the stairs that lead to the old mill. You feel hesitant to take these steps. There is no clarity in the storm inside your head. Oh, what a fucking sentence. How could philosophy and spirituality shake hands with logic? Where do you draw the line? For all that you know, these could be the first steps to psychosis, or the last. You wish you could silence the voices in your head, but you can't. They're constantly looking for meaning. They're searching for anything to explain this mad world. But this can't be all that there is. So here you stand at the foot of your mountain. Are you ready to take these steps? I'm ready. You can no longer rely on logic. The man in the gas mask is waiting for you in the old mill. He may hold an explanation. The moment has come. Step first with the right legs. Oh, what the fuck? Left or right? I mean, I'm right-footed, so I would probably step with the right first. Fifth step. You can't take stairs without counting steps. You haven't found a way to ignore the urge, and you're not even sure you'd want to. So, does anyone else do this, right? When you're chopping something, do you count as you chop? Because I noticed I didn't know I was doing it, but I do it. If I'm chopping up a potato, I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it on the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it that 1, 2, 3, 4. And I don't keep a total, but I count as I chop. Why is this game talking about me? The number of steps could hold a deeper meaning. There may be a hidden recurring pattern waiting to be revealed. So I stepped with my right foot first, and it stopped on the 5th step. That doesn't make much sense, does it? I feel conflicted. But you won't stop counting, not now. 10. So 5 and then 10. You're nearly there, just a few more steps remaining. You can feel the cold shiver run repeatedly over your body. You're starting to breathe more consistently as the light from the mill grows brighter. It carries a sense of relief. It whispers a promise of warmth. It offers you shelter from this darkness. You're almost at the top. 15 steps if you count the landing, which you always do. 15. You think it's yet another sign or a mere coincidence. Do count as I chopped. Yeah, it's weird. Does it feel like someone is calling you? Can you feel someone holding your hand, leading you here? You found the stairs to the old mill mentally draining. Both your body and mind are weary. But you're finally here. The storm is raging, and as are your restless thoughts. There's nothing but this old door between you and the man in the gas mask. For the first time, could there be clarity in the chaos? A glimpse of hope. Get inside. He's not going to be here. Oh. Do not be afraid. I am no longer a mere shadow or a voice in your head. I led you here. I guided your hand with whispers into your ear. I permeated your dreams and thoughts like ink bleeds into black water. I was born from silence. I have manifested from the shadow of the grey corner. There was a bit of Morse code there. I am night without a dawn. Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, dot, dot, dot. So dot, 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 dash, 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 dot, dot, dot. What does that actually translate to? Morse code. SOS, yeah. Moogsy, welcome in. Good to see you, dude. VBT. VBT, potentially. Why am I here? What do you want from me? Why am I here? It is SOS, okay. Now you have a sense of something almost tangible in the darkness. You've come so close, you can almost reach out and touch it. But you still don't know what it is. Yet you have heard the waves whisper of its existence. So the Morse code is literally like a cry for help. Listen closely. These waves are born from the pulse of a triangular pyramid. Yes, the one you've seen in your dreams. It stands on the black water behind the all-distorting veil. You search for something more. Your search for something more has finally come to an end. You can find the truth you've been craving for in all these three faces. You can find the truth you've been craving in the three faces of the pyramid. Yeah, craving for. You don't need for because craving is a craving. But it lies hidden behind the veil, which you can only perceive in darkness. Therefore, I had to challenge your logic and reason. I disguised myself in your silence. I wore it out with endless whispers from the quiet. I filled you with doubt and resentment. I introduced you to the necessary darkness. I will show you the truth that is good and just. Truth that is concealed by the all-distorting veil. You have sensed there's more than meets the eye. You know it. You've known it for a long time. You must look past the things that you are holding you here. I've observed your loved ones from the darkness. I've stood in the shadow of the grey corner. I heard them quietly whisper their prayers. You are causing them heartache. You are a burden to them. Ooh. They know the weight of worries you're carrying. Where were they when you needed them most? You shouldn't give them another thought. They're nothing but silhouettes distorted by the great veil. There's no shame in finding comfort in that thought. You need to let them go. You must cut away ties you have left to this world with this world. But the veil's greatest trick was to disguise itself in light. Only then can you plummet into the blackness where the veil cannot exist. Look at my eyes, for they are like knives. And with my gaze, I will cut through the great veil. I will show you the way. I will walk you across the black water. I will help you tear down the veil once and for all. roll up for some fresh air. Get some fresh air, dude. Catch you in a bit. I think it should be a dash rather than... Yeah, so I think it should be... I don't know if 3 dashes is... But yeah, 3 dots is S. But yeah. First came to you in your dreams. Now accept me in the flesh. Look at your hands. You have poison coursing through your veins. A cancer that stops you from seeing and sensing what is real. It has deceived you with false things to keep you tamed and content. But in the dark, you've started to sense its presence. It's difficult to turn away from love, joy, and happiness. It's hard to close your eyes from the last light. But know that this light I speak is artificial and false. And because of the nature of things, you must bleed. With my eyes, I will release the poison out of you. Don't resist. Clarity. Oh. No pain. No doubt. Cold sense of calm will follow. Let go of the discord. Let go of the discord, eh? Speaking of discord, let go of the worries. Let go of the discord. Sorry, that's a bit loud. I might change the, can I, leave all the woe on the other side of the veil. Breathe slowly. Listen. Can you hear it? Can you hear the dissonance drowning in the sea? Can you hear it sinking into the beautiful brown noise? Listen to the sea. There's no false light where the water begins. Something is happening. The pyramid has risen from the surface of the black water. It is slowly rotating in the air. Base is turning into a face, and its face is turning into a base. A new truth has emerged. Is it too late? Please help me. I realize the truth has an ever-shifting nature. Can you hear me? I will repeat myself. The truth has an ever-shifting nature. Please, can you hear me? I will scream into the black water. The truth has an ever-shifting nature. I don't know what to become. I don't know what becomes of me. Help me. Hey there. Thank you for playing Without a Dawn. I hope you enjoyed my little game. I sure did. Phew. That's a relief. Thanks. It took me approximately a year to create this game. I spent lots of time rewriting the dialogue and recreating the art, among other tasks. Feels like I did 5 things for one to stick. Yeah, it's very true. It's just how it is, unfortunately. Not a very sustainable way to create games. But with this game, I felt I could spend more time refining the smaller details. I always approached this project more as an art than a game. It shows. Creating a thought-provoking and mature tale of a human psyche was tough. I had to constantly put myself in a dark place to bring this work into existence. Yet at the same time, this project was a labour of love. I'm very proud of how it turned out. I want to thank my wife, Jenny, for continuous support and help, and also thank my kids, Rico and Minja. You're the best. Thanks for the local game dev community. Sharing a drink is always a pleasure. And a huge thanks to for all encouraging me through this social media. And before you go, would you consider dropping a review? This helped me so much with exposure. You can find me here. Silver font, Poppyworks. They definitely succeeded. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that. I think there might be more to it. I think we might be able to, do branching paths and try some other stuff. Trophy-wise, I'm not too sure how we did. So yeah, we got 80%. So there's two more trophies. Resist as long as possible. Time appears to be frozen. Yeah. Okay. So we got most of the trophies. Yeah, that was interesting. Like an interesting way of delivering. I mean, obviously it was obviously just sort of like dialogue and pictures and stuff. But with the thing about games that have these sort of like, it's a still picture, but there's a bit of animation, but it's a static scene. The scene, nothing in the scene is changing, but it's animated as if it's like a photograph that's a moment in time, but it's actually moving. It's not completely static. So I've always appreciated that kind of contrast in like a static photograph that has animated qualities that imply that this is not just a snapshot. This is a moment in time where you're considering something and thinking about it. And these kind of games, they have that kind of like procedural, you sort of, make choices as you go along. So the fact that like, it's not like, because they used to just be still pictures and it felt it felt quite stale. But now that they can be sort of animated as well as being a still, it's difficult to explain, which is one of the things I like about it, because trying to explain the concept of like a static picture where nothing is moving, but lights will have like a candle flickering will be represent. I like that shit. I really like that motion comic vibe in the old text adventures with static art. Yeah. Interesting. Right. I thought that might have lasted a bit longer than that. I didn't think I was going to do that in 2 hours. But yeah, I'm still really impressed with that. I think that was pretty good. However, I now need something to do for the rest of stream. So I think we have a third cycle of Silent Hill F. But I don't think I've got anything else on the list. What I'll do is, everyone watching on YouTube, what I'm going to do, once we make a decision, is I will end the YouTube stream and then start another one, because that splits the videos in the live section and makes it easier to keep them sort of organised. So let me just refresh all that and make sure that's all updating. We do have an ad break coming up, so what I'll do is I'll choose something to do on the break. Maybe I'll start downloading a game where we can just hang out for a bit. But yeah, I was quite interested in that. I'm not too sure how many different branching paths there are, but seeing as we got 8 out of 10 trophies, there's only 2 trophies to get, and one of them will just be resisting for a certain amount of time and then giving in, I think, because that's what the trophy was about. I think that's kind of the story. I think that's kind of it. I thought there might be like multiple different branching paths, but seeing that we've got 8 out of 10 trophies makes me feel as if there's only one real sort of narrative sort of playthrough. So I don't think it's worth cycling the game over and over again. I think the dev, that message at the end, they would have said there's more to it. They usually do. The credits roll and they say you've completed path number 1. there's path 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, with different endings, and then you know you're going to be playing the game multiple times. Sometimes they don't, but a lot of the time they do. Anyway, the outbreak's going to start in a second. I'll pop you guys over there on the BRB screen. I'll be right back. I'm going to choose what game we're going to play, and then I'll come back and we'll play something else. But it might be Silent Hill F, but I'll have a quick look through my list and see if I've got anything installed. But yes, I'll be right back. Oh. Finished him up by stabbing him in the anus. We'll take it. We'll take it. You got to take what you can get, even if it is in the anus.
I remember now.
When it works, chat. When it works, it works. It's so fucking cool.
Angry like some Blackwater would-be business tycoon with a bad case of hemorrhoids.
I'll give you a bad case of someone just shot me in the head if you don't hurry up.
Able to do anything. So yeah, I think I might just oh yeah, I want to jump off. Why what? Ah. Okay then, game. There were still moments in Elden Ring where I was like, holy shit, this is concept art. Look at that fucking castle on top of that mountain with the clouds and the fog around it. It's fucking concept art, and then you can go there and actually go inside that castle and then get your ass absolutely fucking clapped by some horrible boss that does this and then follows you around while you try and run away, and then the second you roll it's like, ha, wrong, and then fucking hits you. Fuck me.
This is my show, John Marston. Do as you're goddamn told.
Fucking.
And shoot well.
Let's fucking go, Sadie. Damn. There's a bunch of Stroke the Animal games. Okay. And they're all separate. They should all be the same game, but you know, we all know how this works, right? Everybody wants to have as many different games out there. Stroke the tortoise, stroke the snake, stroke the dog, stroke the horse. That's Mirabelle. That's fucking Mirabelle. That's Nico's horse. That's fucking That's fucking Nico's horse. And then carefully stagger him so it explodes. What? That's what we wanted. Man. People that help move stuff and they pick up like one tiny thing at a time, it's like, come on, man. Put your back into it. Pick up several things at once. We don't have all day. Can I link something that'll help you out? Yes, because you're a VIP, it shouldn't time you out. If it does, I'll just remove the timeout, so don't worry. It's an alright game, but forcing the player to meticulously kill every single enemy in each run through is rather tedious. Yes, it is incredibly tedious. Yeah, incredibly tedious. What's this?
Stop it.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate that. Right. I think Silent Hill F, because I know what I'm doing in Silent Hill F for the most part. And yeah, I think Silent Hill F, we've got a third playthrough to do for a different ending. And then there's a few other bits and pieces trophy-wise we could look at. So we need to defeat Sakuko without being hit by the Suzu bell attack. So we need to do it when we get to Sakuko in the third playthrough. We need to create a save and keep trying that until we don't get hit by the bell attack. Open the shrine vault at the shrine without getting hit, which is just after that fight, yeah. Defeat Hinako's father before mother at the... So defeat the big guy in that ONS ripoff fight. Defeat the Shumoka without dying once. I can't remember Bird That Flies Highest. I think that's the final boss. You got to do it without being killed. Complete the game with the puzzle difficulty set to story. So we're doing a story playthrough, so we'll get that one anyway. Acupuncture specialist arrived at the Nishida residence without making a single mistake on the scarecrow puzzle. But yeah, that one, I have no idea how that puzzle works. I've tried it 3 times now, and I'm just going to fucking, defeat Rinko without being hit by her puppets. Yep, that one's going to be a bit difficult. Dolls are happiest when they are loved. Fox's wedding. I think that's the ending we get for doing what we're doing. Obtained all the crests without making a single mistake on the Inari statue puzzle. Rise up. The space army is coming. That's finding all the posters and stuff, so I might do that another time. Offered the brooch to the ancient Jesus statue. I think we might do that in this playthrough. Need to talk about the future. That's an ending, possibly. Defeated both and the Kyuri within 10 minutes of the fight starting. Yeah, I think that's... I can't remember which fight that is, but yeah. Opened all rooms and boxes marked with the... Yeah, so I think on this playthrough, because we're going through, we're finding these boxes that are sealed, and the seal burns off when we get close. Complete the game with the action difficulty set to Lost in the Fog. Yeah, Clear Skies is going to be fucking rough. I'm not sure I'm going to do that. Defeated without getting hit by a single arrow. Can't remember which boss that is. Obtained all the hidden Omamari. Yeah, so there's hidden Omamari we need to find. But yeah, that'll just be collectibles, basically. We'll just be doing collectibles. That's fine. So, YouTube, I will briefly end the stream and then start a new stream so it creates a new video. Don't panic.